Radiohead are an English rock band who were formed in Oxfordshire in 1985 by some friends, and it's still the same group of people together 9 studio albums later. They're fronted by Tom York, and they started as effectively as a Britpop band, but they became more experimental as the years went by. Hi, my name is Dan. So this was the 8th studio album by Radiohead, so pretty late in their listing. And it's my first time listening to it. And I've been, Radiohead are one of these bands that I've been looking forward to them coming up. Not because I particularly know them well, but because I'm quite looking forward to digging into their stuff and finding out whether I like it or not. I think I've got an expectation that I probably am going to like it. And as you'll see from the score on this, I did like it. I do like it. So I describe this as being somewhere in somewhere in the area of experimental rock and electronica. So it's got elements that you kind of make it feel more like rock in that, particularly in that it's kind of has a tendency to feel like songs rather than electronica. Often seems to go down the route of, well, it might have some lyrics, but it's not kind of verses and built up. It's just kind of repeated stuff. So this lyrically does more of a song thing than most electronica, but sound-wise, a lot of it is kind of in the electronica area. Other people writing about this album have emphasized the fact that this album has got a particular thing about the percussion and the rhythms and the drum loops going on, and it's definitely kind of mostly looped drums, and then that's overlaid with floaty texture. That's I hope you get the idea from that. So some of this is kind of electronic paddy sounds, so like a pad sound on a keyboard. Some of it is using more orchestral instruments, and there are use of guitars and stuff in there, and there's bass stuff. Some of that's looped as well. I couldn't tell you if it's all. And then over all that, floated kind of on the top, like a lilo floating on a turbulent sea, is Tom York's vocals, which work well. I would say they really suit the style of the music that's going underneath, in that they emphasise this kind of floatiness. He's got a good voice for this kind of thing. It's an interesting voice. It's quite distinctive. I have come across other people who sing similar to this, and when I hear them, I always think of Tom York, and so this is kind of emphasising that, doubling down. So it's somewhat kind of light on the consonants, and it's nasalish in that it kind of resonates in a nasal kind of way, but somehow that's in a good way. And I feel like the word nasal comes with negative connotations, and it is true that there are voices that I would think of as nasal that I don't like, but I quite like Tom York's voice. I think it's quite like I had in the previous album that I reviewed, which was Big Thief, and the girl singing there has a kind of fragility to her voice. I think Tom York's got a similar kind of fragility, and it's a strong voice, but it's got that kind of break in it that kind of makes you feel that he's very human. Um, so yeah, it's got a good voice. It floats in. The lyrics, I didn't pick out strongly what the lyrics are about. Apparently, they in their kind of history, apart from early on, they're really about nothing in particular. They're a kind of stream of consciousness kind of thing. So the overall thing's got this kind of avant-garde feel to it. It definitely feels like it's kind of they're experimenting. It's got a little bit of the Bjorkness to it in my head. Or you could maybe describe it as being halfway between kind of trance electronica stuff and alt rock. And if you kind of took stuff out of both of those and bung them together in a big mixing box, then this might be what you get. Um, Also, I think it's probably, I want to say it's got a kind of melancholy feel. I think that's kind of part of the expectations for Radiohead. So some of that is Tom York's voice again, but some of it is just the way they approach the production. I enjoyed it. So musically and production-wise, it's strong and it's interesting, and I find it refreshing. And I'm thinking to myself, so this is the first Radiohead album on this list. Therefore, that means, according to the critics where this list is compiled from, this is the weakest Radiohead album on this list. So we'll see if it does get better. Anyway, I liked it. Please do tell me, what do you think? I'd love to know. Don't be shy. Please leave me a comment. And that's it from me for now.
Jump off the end into a cliff.